Once upon a time, in faraway Austria, there was a child prodigy named Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Even when he was just a baby in the cradle, little Mozart loved the sound of jingling bells and the music around him. As soon as he could walk, he giggled whenever he shook tiny bells, as if music were dancing in his heart. At only 3 years old, Mozart sat at a piano bigger than himself. His little legs dangled in the air, but his tiny fingers tapped out sweet melodies that amazed his whole family. By the age of 5, Mozart was already writing music with a quill on big sheets of paper. Even though he was so young, he imagined beautiful melodies flying around in his head. He was never alone on this journey. Beside him was always his sister Nanal. The two of them sat at the piano together, playing music and laughing like little birds singing. Mozart's father, Leopold, was also a talented musician. He patiently taught Mozart to play the violin. Under the warm glow of the lamp, father and son created sparkling sounds together. Their little family often traveled by carriage, carrying instruments and sheet music, performing wherever they went. The horses' hooves clattered on cobblestones, while music filled the air with joy. One day, Mozart was invited to play for kings and queens. Dressed in a fine coat and a tiny wig, he sat at the piano and poured his heart into every note. Everyone in the palace clapped loudly. They could hardly believe that such a small boy could create such wonderful music. But Mozart was also very playful. Sometimes he made silly faces while holding his violin, just to make his sister giggle. As he grew older, Mozart still sat by candlelight, passionately writing music. The blank pages quickly filled with lively notes.
He didn't just write music, he also conducted grand orchestras in glowing theatres. The sound of instruments, voices, and applause rose like waves. One of Mozart's most famous works was the opera The Magic Flute. On stage, a glowing flute shone while colourful characters leapt through magical scenes. Still, life wasn't always easy. Sometimes Mozart became sick, lying in bed but still trying to write. His pen never stopped, because music was his life. Even when money was scarce, Mozart never stopped creating. In his small room, he counted his few coins, but still smiled as he wrote timeless music. He also loved playing for children and villagers. For Mozart, music wasn't only for palaces. It was for everyone, from open fields to little street corners. Children sat around him, wide-eyed, watching as notes sparkled like stars. Music filled the village with laughter and joy. As a grown man, Mozart became a brilliant conductor, standing before a great orchestra, baton in hand, his heart blazing with every note. Later, when he left this world, Mozart departed peacefully. But in the sky, the stars seemed to form shining musical notes, like his eternal symphony. And today, children all over the world put on headphones and smile when they hear Mozart's music. His melodies travel across time, bringing happiness to generation after generation. Mozart's story reminds us, let your imagination soar, play, laugh, and believe that music can connect every heart.